Ever gone to like a fancy restaurant and just eat something that you were just so amazed by? Like the moment in Ratatouille where he's just strawberry the cheese and it just comes together to one dish, but forget it. But yes, a lot of us question how a lot of chefs come up with these amazing type of dishes and how they develop these. Well, I'm gonna show you a simple breakdown process of how chefs do that and how they're able to create these amazing dishes off of seemingly nothing. So without a further ado, let's get into it. The first step I like to do is to think of a theme for the dish. I would say thinking of a theme is pretty important because it helps you decide what ingredients are you gonna focus on. For example, you might think of like, hey, I'm gonna do like a Indian themed dish. So you would immediately start thinking of your flavor profiles that you plan to do. For example, I would think of something more earthy, say by including more spices and toasting them. So I would immediately go for something like that. And that is a really good, just a thinking point for you to come up with a new dish, because what you're trying to do is that you're trying to, because there's so much in the cooking world, so you're trying to take that broad scope and get tight in it so you know what you're gonna do. So I would say think of a theme for your dish. Like think if it could be a region, it could be a specific season, it could be a protein, it could be anything like that. Even what you're gonna use the dish for. For example, like I'm gonna use my dish for a party, so maybe I should make a smaller portion size that I could give out to everyone. So just really take that broad scope and try to tighten it for what exactly you're looking for. It'll help you a lot when when we get to the next steps. Now the next step is to focus on the main ingredient of the dish. And the main ingredient could be meat or vegetables. A lot of people, when they think about the main ingredient, they would think of like, hey, it has to be this piece of duck or this piece of beef or this piece of pork. But vegetables can also take the spot of of the main ingredient. So I would say just think about the flavor profile of the main ingredient and what you want it to be based on the theme that we talked about in step one. So, and also you can think about if you're using vegetables, are these vegetables in season? Can I use this vegetable over this vegetable? Because a lot of vegetables have similar flavor profiles, but you can hone down on a specific one to really make it unique and stand out. So just pick something with that, pick something you want to focus on, and then we'll get to the final step, which really brings it all together. And the final step is to choose other ingredients to accompany what you're doing. For example, say I'm gonna do a dish that has duck as the main ingredient. Then I think to myself, what ingredients go along with duck? Like what flavors can match the gaminess, the strong, headstrong flavors of duck? And to me, duck tends to go with something sweet. So what I would do is say, I want to have a duck dish, and I'm gonna do with like a sauce of duck jus with orange, because duck and orange makes an amazing combination. There's a pretty popular French dish called duck au orange. It's really good. So you'll love it if you try it. But yeah, super expensive, of course. But yeah. So do that. So find ingredients to accompany the main vegetable. And a main thing is cohesion. You don't want to just add stuff because you just don't want to add different stuff to the dish just because you think it'll go together. But you want to create like a central theme that focuses on the main ingredient and uses the other ingredients to bring it up. You don't want to make them the highlight when you already have one highlight. So because the example with duck au orange, it uses juices from the duck in order to enhance the sauce. That's why the sauce works so well, because it not only does it have orange, it brings a new component to the dish, but it also enhances the component that's already in it. That's why it works so well to the dish. So that's a really good example. Another good example is let's do a salad. So we have a salad with like spinach, I one of the places that I worked at, they add like strawberries and cream cheese. So that worked pretty well because you're trying to make a salad for the summer season. That's the theme we were going with. The main ingredient was spinach, and then we used strawberries and cream cheese to enhance that flavor in order to bring a more cohesive dish. With the vinaigrette was a red wine vinaigrette, if I'm not mistaken, but that's not the point. The point is that I went through the 3 basic steps in order to create a dish out of seemingly nothing, like that, like instantly. So that's what I'm showing you guys how to do. With that, we're going to end the video. I really hope you guys learned something, had fun today, and because thinking of your dishes is extremely fun. I'm sure you have something that you wanted to create based on your favorite like meat or your favorite food that you had, and now I just gave you the steps in order to do so. So again, that's pretty much it, and I hope you enjoy.